EarthMC, a geopolitical townie server owned by Fix. It is most known for its government and wars that are constantly going on. I've been playing EarthMC for all of Terra Nova, so I know a thing or two about this server. So today I'm going to be going in-depth on the server's history, talking about events that occurred on the server during its 3-year span so far. We will talk about everything that made EarthMC what it is today. Now, since I don't know EarthMC Classic very well, we won't be talking very much about that. We'll be going in-depth on EarthMC Terra Nova. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy. On December 25th, 2016, a video was posted on the Fixed YouTube channel called Minecraft Server with Earth Map, EarthMC trailer for Minecraft Earth, which then went viral. It was the perfect start to the server. An interesting concept helped out by the YouTube algorithm. So EarthMC Classic then opened. It was popular for around 3 years before it was decided that they should reset the map. After some fun wars like the last war of EarthMC Classic between the Ionic Empire and Celestia, the server finally reset to EarthMC Terra Nova. EarthMC Terra Nova had a much bigger map with an upgraded townie plugin and a lot more features added. It was an obvious step up from the old EarthMC Classic. The server opened for beta on October 26, 2018, and starting off quick, the town of Kot was the first to be created, with Mount Magnet in New York coming next. Over the course of the day, more towns were founded like Seoul, Venice, Paris, Constantinople, Avalon, London, Roma, and so many more. On the second day, along with towns like Beijing, Mobile, Santa Maria, and Berlin being founded, the first nation was created, the long powerful and still standing with 346 residents. The next day was the last day for beta, with towns like Bogota, Oslo, and Wales being founded, but no new nations. Britain had managed to be the only nation to be created in beta, and they did it in 2 days. But after 3 days of beta, the server was open to the public, with towns and nations being cheap to create. It didn't take long for people to start making them. On the first day, the nation of United States was founded. Over the next 10 days, notable nations like Korea, Denmark, Australia, Poland, and Madagascar were created. Then over the next 10 days, more notable nations like Peru, Germany, and Japan were created. Now to this point, there had been no notable conflicts or war, but that all changed on November 18th when the Polish-Romanian War started. After the war was declared, the battles of Pomerania took place, with Poland winning the battle, and 10 Romanian deaths taking place. Then the Battle of Bucharest taking place around a week later when the Polish attacked the Romanian capital and again defeated the Romanians. After this, the server settled down a bit for more nations to start development. Nations like Cascadia and California were created. As everyone was excited about the new server, more wars broke out. On December 22nd, the first great server war broke out. The warmongering nation of Poland would find a land challenger. On one side of the conflict, the Moravian coalition. You had nations like Nazi Germany, Austria-Hungary, Britain, and France. While on the Polish side, you had nations like Poland, Spain, and Greater Armenia. On the day the war started, 3 battles occurred. The Battle of Kosice occurred when a small Moravian army went to the Polish city Kosice to keep peace, but a fight broke out. After the Polish defended the city, the Moravians lost 2 people, while the Polish only lost 1. They had won the battle. Not after long, an army of 10 Polish soldiers attacked Prague, with only 2 Moravian soldiers defending. They were forced to call in backup. After 32 Gold's army arrived, PvP was enabled in Prague, giving the Polish soldiers nowhere to go. After the Polish defeat in Prague, the Moravians marched to Warsaw. The siege of Warsaw was the biggest battle of the war. The battle ended as a draw, but it was a high cost for Poland, who then started to fall. After the first day, the war cooled off, with small battles like the raid of Warsaw, the Spanish defeat in New Madrid, and the invasion of Paris over the next week. The war finally concluded on January 2nd, 2019, when the town of Kosice was handed over to Moravia. After this war, Poland collapsed. At the start of 2019, nations like Persia and Polish state were founded. Before we get back to this video, I want to quickly ask if you would consider subscribing to the channel. This took a lot of work to make, more than any other video I've made in my 4 years making videos. So the best way to help out if you're enjoying it is subscribing to the channel. It's quick and easy and it helps me out a lot. Thank you. On January 18th, the British Civil War started, when colonies founded in Scotland wanted independence. After a crap ton of history I don't want to go through happened, the nation of Scotland was founded. A few days later, other things happened in Europe, like the disbanding of Poland, the creation of Pomerania, which is now called Poland, On February 1st, the nation price was increased to 1,024 gold. But that didn't stop two towns in California to declare independence and make new nations. Lompoc and San Diego created the New Californian Republic and Pacific States. After more tension in Europe, holy crap, there's so much tension in Europe, the Eurasian Pact was formed. This was around the time the queue was added, a system that puts players joining the server in a wait room for long time spans before they can join. This was around the time I took a hiatus from the server. Around this time, unions like Britain and United States were bigger than ever, though the first United States would fall not long after. But this was the last of the server as it was known at the time. On February 11th, a video was posted by the YouTuber Shulk1, duping gold on the server.
I'll just drop a whole stack of gold right there, right in front. We'll see if someone takes it.
Getting 600,000 views in the first 10 days, the server was shut down to patch up all the glitches, which looking back was probably a very good thing for the server, because a lot less people came to the server from Sulk1's video. But it inspired another YouTuber to make a video building Trump's border wall on the EarthMC Mexican border, which got another 52,000 views. This brought a lot of new players onto the server for the start of March. The month of March started off with a bang. On the first day, the Scottish election concluded, with Dexter 1080p winning Prime Minister. The nation of Spain then fell. A battle occurred in Poland with Prussia and Polish soldiers. The Kingdom of Italy also declared war on Albania, which then collapsed. Now, I mentioned the Scottish election a bit ago. This doesn't seem important, but the new king declared war on Brazil his third day in office. He was then impeached and exiled from the nation. The nation then broke out into a coup war. On March 7th, the server was taken offline to move to a different hosting location. When the server reopened, they experienced severe crashing problems, and the population declined. The server was then set to donator only. Over that time, Japan's government was shut down, and the nation started to die. A treaty was signed between the Greater Roman Empire and Byzantium, and the nations of Finland and Nunavut disbanded. The priority queue was then introduced to the server for $10, this being a way to bypass the waiting room to get into the server, which was helpful because the server's capacity was going down. On March 15th, the server was then reopened to the public. Finally, after waiting for it to be opened, the first EarthMC Olympics took place in Numidia. After this, the server cooled down for a while, and not that much happened besides the Scottish massacre when Meganet used a sharpness 1 million axe to kill opposing forces, and was then banned. Over the next month, the server was very relaxed with nothing happening, but that was about to change. The date was April 11th. It seems like a normal day in the Crepuscular era. The United Nations was formed by New York Governor Lucas 2011, and the settlement of Patik in Sonora, Mexico was established. But that all changed when a YouTuber with 1.6 million subscribers made a video on an Earth Minecraft server. Tens of hundreds of new players joined the server. Queue was extremely large. After lots of growth to the server, IBX Toycat made another video, this time on the server. This brought even more people to the server and strengthened the queue. Only the next day, another YouTuber, Z-Min, made a video on the server, bringing even more people. Another dupe exploit was then found on the server when it went into downtime, which was probably a good thing. But after we all thought it was over, Kanal Kene, a Russian YouTuber with over 2 million subscribers, made a video on the server which has 1.2 million views to this day. And after we had all that, the YouTuber Fuzi made a video on the server. Now let's take a break from the chaos to see what else is going on in the server. The polar bear crisis. On May 19th, 2019, the server queue went offline, and as players left the server, it eventually got down to 80 players. Rumors of mob spawning were making their way around the community, and players started asking for polar bears. Shiraz then spawned 3 polar bears in random locations on the server. They were then found by Isosceles, Hulk, and Arcus King. They decided to take them back to Central Illyria, where they lived. After lots of arguing, it was decided that 2 of the polar bears would stay in an international polar bear exhibit in Central Illyria, while the other polar bear would go to Imperial Japan. The player Ruffle Kid stole 2 of the polar bears and moved them to his ocean storage. He then spammed chat advertising that he was selling the 2 polar bears. A player named Frozen Potato then killed Ruffle Kid and stole the bears for himself. It was suspected another player, Death, had gotten one of the polar bears from killing Ruffle Kid. The whole server then started to search for them. After 2 players went to Carolina, they were killed by the town leader, Death. Somewhere in here one of the polar bears was killed, not sure when, but after Death killed the 2 players, chat got mad at him and he decided to go to war with Ellsworth. Yep, that's right everyone, EarthMC started a war over polar bears. Anyways, back to everything else. Around this time, notable players player Unbaited joined the server, and some players raided Fuzi City, the town of the YouTuber Fuzi. Oh, and you guys thought we were out of the water with the YouTuber thing? Nope! On June 1st, a large YouTuber, Minecraft Universe, made a video on the server, bringing new players in. That day, Cascadia elected Euro the Gluten as president, who dissolved the Cascadian Senate and seized all power for himself. He messed with the Cascadian Discord and was impeached within 12 hours of being elected. Man, I really do not know how these idiots get elected. The infamous nation of Washington was created by Bonzel, and the historical town of Winnipeg was founded. And finally, we are free of the flooding era. You guys thought we were out of it? Well, in actuality, there's no escaping the bad things that happen to EarthMC. You think there won't be any new YouTubers? IBX Toycat just made a new video on the server. You think there won't be any more wars? Canadian Union declared war on Norway and Greater Roman Empire. And Greater Roman Empire, France and Spain declared war on Germany. To be fair, the crowded area was not that bad. Not that much actually happened. Mecca was the first town to hit maximum chunks at 75 residents. Nevada seceded from Cascadia to pursue independence. Gawker decided to re-establish Los Angeles for the first time in a while, starting the California that we all know today after they left Cascadia. Longtime nation Qing started to collapse, Fuzi was finally banned, and it seemed like the server was going uphill again. GGOV then joined Townie. Oh, come on! Can we not have anything good on the server? Now, besides the GGOV situation, the server was definitely improving. The queue shortened, and the player cap was then brought back up to 200. Siam and Vietnam declared war on Cambodia, beginning the Cambodian War, which then ended 3 years later. The voting system was then changed from 5 gold per vote to the voting crate system, where you could get anything from a sponge to a trident to 64 gold. I personally still prefer the old version, but voting crates really aren't as bad as they seem when they were first added. With the NATO defensive alliance getting bigger, there's a lot of peace around the world, with nobody wanting to challenge the large group. On November 1st, the server celebrated its 1-year anniversary, which looking now means that I have over a year more script to write. I don't know. Somewhere around here, the Ace Shooter United States was founded. This is my personal favorite time on EarthMC since we didn't have to deal with any annoying nations besides Virginia, which really wasn't that bad. But a few weeks later, after Spiffles was elected President of the United States, a large scandal occurred when many messages and IPs were leaked. The players Spiffles, Conman, Lucas, and Bidaf were swiftly banned. They were later unbanned after it was decided that there wasn't sufficient evidence to support the reasonings. The nations of Carolina, Illinois, Virginia, Arizona, Florida, New Jersey, Transylvania, and Lacus Magna saw an opportunity with the USA gone and created a new alliance called the American Order. To start off the new era, the hacking of EarthMC took place. 2 players managed to hack into the server and get administrative perms and world edit. They used this to destroy London and leak IP of Discord members. The server was down for 4 days as they fixed what had been destroyed. As the server reopened, Enfish was killed in the Michigan Capitol building, and the American Order declared war on Michigan. Notable player Unbaited was also permanently banned. As the server came to February, the Midwestern Union was founded, with the nations Michigan, Minnesota, Indiana, Ohio, Wisconsin, Kentucky, and Missouri being the founding members, with Dakota, Northern Minnesota, and Saskatchewan joining later on. They didn't last long before they went to war with the American Order, as was expected when it was formed. The server was then updated to 1.15.2 on February 22nd, with the first bee ever being found in Europe. With the new update came lag, which forced the server down to 175 maximum players. Cascadia then devolved to civil war, and the Sunset Confederacy was formed. 2 weeks after the update to 1.15.2, a bamboo was finally placed in China by the owner of the server, Fix. The player who got the bamboo, named Palms24, tried to hold on to it, but finally, after being harassed for basically the rest of the day, he placed 13 pieces of bamboo around the map, which were then found by notable players Breach D Gates, Unbaited, B Brothers, and Ghost Rock. The next day, the new rank called Premium, which allows you to change the color of a nation, as well as get into the server faster than queue priority players, was added. They also got free premium player heads every month, which was seen as pay-to-win feature because they were worth so much. This seemed to be the start of unrest on the server, because of things like lag, poor management, and mod abuse. And as things started to go downhill for the server, YouTuber Toycat came back to make another video on the server. This caused EarthMC to crash because of the new player, and when people rejoined, they weren't allowed to move. Nations then started disbanding like Colorado, Romania, Egypt and Singapore. With the server going downhill, Mine Hero posted a thread on the EarthMC Reddit regarding the idea of a reset. This caused the hashtag #ResetEarthMC movement throughout the community. 2 wars were then started around the server, causing the first global conflict since the Great Server War. Germany declared war on Poland with the support of many other nations. Rio Grande then declared war against the North American Union and South American Union. These 2 wars were then intertwined with each other after Germany and Rio Grande announced support for each other in their wars. Many battles occurred in this war, including the Battle of Wrocław and the Battle of Walmart. The Battle of Poland and the Battle of Berlin also occurred. The Canadian Empire then started setting off bombs in enemy cities. The Eiffel Tower was also destroyed. On May 9th, a new beta was released to players with Premium to test out the new war plugin. Yes, that beta was released May 9th, 2020. The war plugin has still not been added. Good job, EarthMC. You managed to defy all expectations and somehow take longer than we expected you to. On May 17th, the biggest heist in EarthMC history took place. A castle in Sussex, Britain was raided. The perpetrators were later permanently. The next day, small EarthMC YouTuber Decay was banned after making 2 videos about duping on the server. I have learned from him to create 0 videos on how to get banned on EarthMC. Please don't ban me. Using a glitch involving villagers whereby trades could be completed with no restocking period, players began to abuse this to make untold amounts of enchanted items, books, enter pearls, and other rare items. Notable among this group was the player NS, who used a villager with very good trade and made 2,000 to 4,000 mending books, helping to drive the price of enchanting armor and tools into the pavement. It was then decided villagers would be removed from the server. This ramped up the price of mending, which slowly went up to 60 times where it was before. But it was not all bad news, because sign shops were finally brought back to EarthMC after being gone for who knows how long. Also, apparently people just decided to start making withers, and over 9 withers were spawned on May 25th out of nowhere. On May 31st, a bomb was set off, blowing off the historical Argent Museum in Argent Deseret. Every building in the area of the museum was also blown up. Around now is when Nubia had a boom in population. Now it is known as one of the biggest nations on the server. On June 7th, it became the first nation to hit 600 players ever. The player GGOV then rejoined the server and used spam bots for the first time in months. Then 2 days later, the YouTuber with over 600,000 subscribers, Drew Journal, streamed on the server and also made a video about it. This brought new players to the server, but unlike a lot of the other YouTubers, Drew Journal was more the server's type, so the players he brought with him weren't really that bad in my opinion. Longtime Germany member Bam Bam the Eggman then decided to move to America to found Yellowstone, which joined an alliance called the Syndicate with the Canadian Empire in Rio Grande. On the same day as Drew Journal uploaded his video to the server, another YouTuber, Poke Plays, then decided to make a video. After many months of Rio Grande ruling much of the US, Cubs moved to Sri Lanka along with the many other members of the nation. Hooray! Now can you get rid of the hooray please? Thank you. On June 30th, a Turkish YouTuber released a video on the server. This caused the nation of Turkey to gain in population faster than any nation in history. It jumped to page 1 very quickly and cemented itself as one of the biggest nations on the server. After members of Rio Grande and Sri Lanka got in an argument, it was revealed that a main member of the server, Sammy Soul, was an alt of a player that had banned over a year prior for doxing multiple players. He was then banned with no way of getting unbanned. Also, hey you guys, you remember when Nubia hit 600 members? Yeah, well they just hit 1,000 for the first time in EarthMC history. Then Dixio, the YouTuber who had been banned for duping, was finally unbanned after a massive unbanned Dixio campaign. Venezuela tried to declare war on Haiti, then like 1 million nations declared war on him, and he basically gave up on life, and a bunch of other things that don't really matter happened. So we are finally at the current era. EarthMC has been through many ups and downs, but in the end what we've learned is the Decay era was a down. On September 10th, a conflict between France and Germany started when a French town was placed in the Netherlands. Germany first gave an ultimatum to get rid of the town, but when France refused, they declared war. The war started off in Paris when Germany sieged the city. During one of the bloodiest battles in EarthMC history, 100 casualties were reported. During the multiple hours of the siege, Germany's allies had come to the aid of the nation. Nations like Austria came to help Germany with the war. Nobody had come to the French aid until September 11, when Poland, Lena, and small portion of Canadian Republic joined the French side. After the declarations, scattered fighting occurred across Central Europe. After many more fights, the war ended at the Treaty of Brussels. Britain and Germany then also signed a historic peace treaty after months of Cold War between those two nations. So Germany came out of this conflict more peaceful than when they'd started. Finally, for the first time since the Ace Shooter scandal, New Jersey and America founded the 4th United States of America. This was, in my opinion, opinion, the most successful USA to this day, as it is in fact still going on to this day, with nations like South Carolina, Ohio, and Iowa joining. And finally, we've made it to January 2021. EarthMC has gone through many ups and downs, gains in the player base, losses in the player base, but in the end, it's a really great server. If you made it this far, thanks for watching this video. I had a lot of fun making it, so I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you all very much for watching. Yes, golly, I hope you enjoyed it. Toothbrush.